Hi, I'm Vern Thiessen. I'm the Artistic Director of Workshop West Playwrights Theatre, and I am here with the legendary Conni Massing, playwright of MATARA. Conni, I don't know if you know this, but I think you are now the most produced playwright in Workshop West history.
Wow, that's
it's
fantastic.
Either you or Stuart Lemoyne, but I think it's you.
Oh, I think it might be me, actually. He's got his own theatre company. He doesn't need you to
I know, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so thank you for coming back. So tell us a little bit about MATARA. In your own words, what's the play about?
The play is about a relationship between an elephant and an elephant keeper. And there's lots going on in terms of plot. An elephant. There were two elephants at this zoo, and before the play begins, or just as the play begins, one of the elephants dies. So the remaining lone elephant is absolutely devastated by this, and that elephant's closest human companion is a character called Karen, who has been with MATARA, the female Asian elephant, almost all of the elephant's life and almost all of her life. She came and saw the elephant when she was a child, and from that point onward never wanted anything else but to work with elephants, and that's what she's been doing. So as the elephant is trying to recover, she's trying to help the elephant recover from this grief and some physical ailments. And the elephant is not getting any better. Karen becomes more and more unhinged, really, and less of a supporter of this environment, the zoo environment, because she doesn't feel like they're helping MATARA get better. But really for me, it's about this question of, and having spent a little bit of time at the zoo here in Edmonton, the elephant at the zoo is beloved. And there are many, the general public loves the elephant. And I think this is probably true in almost every instance where there's a zoo, an elephant in captivity. Everyone loves the elephant. And in the world of the play, is that human's love and complete devotion to the elephant, is that enough, ultimately? And that's kind of the heart of things for me, is Karen wants nothing more than to than to care for MATARA. And ultimately, is she able to do that?
Right.
So
now, you're known as, I'm going to say, a whimsical writer. Whimsical, a comic writer, and although there's a lot of, God knows there's a lot of funny stuff in this play, but this is a bit of a departure for you. Would you say that?
Yeah.
How so?
It really is. Well, I think that one big thing is the tone, right? I mean, I always feel strongly about whatever I'm writing about, or it would be impossible to get through the 900 drafts and the endless development, and right? So I always feel strongly about the subject matter, but this, I always knew from the beginning that this wasn't necessarily going to be a happy story, and not a romantic comedy. It's not whimsical. But so I knew that I was going into different territory in terms of tone. I also wanted to try something different in terms of the way the play is structured, and it took me a long time to figure that out. So I started out with the only spoken monologues, and that there was no sense of connection between the characters, and then it sort of evolved into something else from there. I had the idea that maybe there was an inquiry after the fact into the death of an elephant, and maybe that was the forum for these people to talk about their attitudes toward animals, their attitude toward this animal, and then it changed again. So I guess, what's that by way of saying? That's by way of saying it took me a long time to figure out what the best structure was for this story, because it is a very different tone that I normally work in. So So it was hard. It's always hard, but it was challenging to try to figure out how to tell this story, because it wasn't the kind of story I normally tell.
Well, and you have an elephant on stage, which leads me to my next question, which is, this has obviously been a very collaborative process to some extent, not the writing necessarily, but the production. And I'm just wondering, what has been the most exciting thing for you as we start rehearsals on this play?
Well, I'm really delighted with everyone who's involved. They're so fabulous, and obviously great casting for the role. But the creativity that has gone into putting the elephant, representing the elephant on stage, because it's not a live element, or not a live elephant, and it's not a. We don't have a team of puppeteers manipulating a giant prefabricated elephant puppet. It's the elephant is being created. It is created and then dissolves. Created, disappears over and over and over again in different situations throughout the play. So to see all of these people applied to their creative problem solving and compassion and patience to the issue of how do we make people in the audience feel the awe that you feel when you're in the presence of an animal like this. And so the designers, the performers, the director, the sound, of course there'll be the sound of the elephant, all of these elements I hope conjure this beast for the audience.
Well, and I think they will, and also because it's such a magical play, I mean, I think the production itself will be quite magical.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. I'm delighted to be here.
That's Conni Massing. MATARA is on stage as of November 28th in previews. It officially opens on November 30th. You can get tickets at Ticks on the Square, and check out our new website, workshopwest.org, for more information coming up on MATARA.